All right, good morning. We just got a bearish beacon trade right here. This is a short on the euro. Oh, never mind. It was too close. I visually thought we had closed on it, so never mind. I'm typing frantically and trying to get this set up, and let's let it reset. All right, good morning. Let's get to it. Bluebird. You talking about the monkey bars method as far as the 3-panel system or setup? Let me know. Oh, I can't. Hang on. There we go. Get my camera set up right. All right. We are just bouncing off this level. Let me show you where we're at with this. We officially closed past it here. That would have been a short. It dropped, came all the way back up. Not a new short that's fighting the top of this channel. So if it hadn't closed above it, I would not consider that. And now suddenly we're rallying off of who knows what, because that's not news driven. But we saw that drop. I took the short position while I was waiting and then typing up the setup. So I'm in this short, not real thrilled about that reversal of 9 pips. We will see what we end up with here. 10 pips, 11 pips. Gee, that's okay. We have another pirate flag off of the open where we're still buying the euro, selling the dollar. I do want you to see where this one lined up. Yes, excuse me. Yesterday, when we were talking about the reverse fib fan, I think that might have been in the futures room talking about how you can line that up. But watch this walk up this line. We've gone back and forth, and we're just riding that line. This is the slope that it wants to run at. If we go over and look at the euro here on the intraday chart, see, and getting out of that huge, huge move, 1350 so far, right up to the top of the channel. And this is not economic report. There's no economic report in this minute here. We're just cash open all the way back up. Now, the fact that we put in this high and the fact that we're at the top of this channel, if we close past here, it is appealing to consider another short here, even though it is still melting higher. You can just see it rode this line, rode it as support, support, chopped through there, broke out, tested the top, come back down. If it fails to get through the 1667 or even better, 1677, this again is, I mean, I think it's absurd that we're still acting and reacting to the same ceasefire, no ceasefire, peace, yes, boots on the ground. You're going to see it. I have very little question that you're going to see a rug pull on this Iran conflict, where we are going to see more conflict, more problems, more fighting, and yet we're still going to sell the dollar and push equities up off of one more tweet. So I'm not not loving this push into this level. I'm not in trade right now, but I still don't like the fact that we're pushing up here on rhetoric. So this is kind of the spot. And again, notice we're struggling right here at the channel. It'd be an aggressive short, but I don't think we've got what we need to keep moving. It would be okay. There's the close past. I mean, I think you could shorten there at 1659. All right, I'm going to take a, this is not one of the trades. It's an aggressive setup because we're just at the top of that channel that we've acted as resistance. I can put my stop up there at 67 and it's risking 112.50, 106.25, but it's just stuck to that top level. And I might get stopped out and give another $100 back, but we'll see what happens. Let me show you that reversed anchoring. Two days ago, on Monday, I showed you how you can anchor the higher lows to define the upper trend line. This is it. I haven't moved this. We did this off the higher lows here, and overnight it did break free and break free, but I did want you to see just how it stuck to this upper target line as well. So as we stuck to that upper target line, after it stayed above there, it's become the support level all the way through. Support, 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 all the way up here, support, support. So this is still highly extended. If it breaks through this level, again, we should have no problem getting back to 1610, but possibly all the way down to 1546 when you have this type of expansion. We know that we have a bearish volume or accumulation, so we're getting rid of it at these peaks as we cross through the average and cross to the zero, and we became overextended up here already. So if it maintains below the zero, maintains below the average, I think it's going to have a hard time continuing to move higher. And so again, selling right here, it is like selling the zero. It's like selling the zero on the monkey bars. It is low probability, but if it works out, it's a very high reward, low risk setup. All right. Let's actually find true trades with our system. And just go through here quickly, and then I'll get that chart to you. Gold sitting at the zero. We know that then we're in the first 15 minutes. The NASDAQ is also sitting overbought. So the dollar is sitting oversold, or the euro is overbought. The NASDAQ is overbought. The ES is overbought. And that shifted. We don't like that. That's not supposed to do that. Might have to check our numbers on that one. Crude is oversold and at the zero. And the Russell keeps shifting. It's not what we need. Russell is a breakout, but we're in the first 15 minutes and that target is 25.54. So here we are. Gold bouncing off that. Euro sitting up here at the top. NASDAQ sitting overbought on that spike. And as you pointed out earlier, we do have some economic data coming out here shortly. And we need to be aware of that. The economic data we have is at, well, the big one is at the top of the hour. We do have final manufacturing PMI in 6 minutes. Less important, but the ISM manufacturing PMI, it might be, the first one might just be a precursor, but the manufacturing PMI and manufacturing pricing, which is an inflation indicator, and business inventories comes out at 10 o'clock Eastern. So we'll see what kind of volatility that adds. It's expected to be kind of doing a little worse on all three of those. So we'll see if we keep getting bad economic data and struggling information, and yet we're trying to push back up to these highs. So there's your zero on the ES. We're pushing back up to that. There's your 20% on the year, but your 100% level is 66.34. So overbought here on all of these so far. Now, again, you can't fight the tape. I've just sold here at the zero because, or the channel, because I figured that's a reasonable risk to take where we've ridden that line all night. And so if we're up here, I don't think we'll get a spike on that shadow because we don't have the econ here, but we can go to sell on that level and go put the stop at 66.67.5, 66.68. And that is what I will do. I got it 16.675. And I'm short right there. So I'm at break even on that. We'll see how it plays out. It's not one of the normal trades, it's high risk. So the one that's in 5 minutes, less impactful, unless they say, oh, look, that's telling us what's going to happen in 15 minutes. And Mike, yes, I'm going to wait for the first 15 minutes, which will get us past that first report. And then the question is, can we get into trades before the next one? Yeah, so this is a very aggressive, when I say aggressive, low probability. It's really not aggressive, it's just low probability. If you keep selling the zeros or selling the channels here, like if I would have said I'm below it and I sold it here, it would just kind of melted and I would have had probably a loss in there. Right through here, if I would have sold it, I would have probably locked in a little bit of a gain. If I would have sold it here, probably would have been stopped out and then it would have dropped back down and I would have missed that and been angry and then I would be, okay, I'm fine because it came back up. So trading those low probability trades is fine. It's just, you have to understand that you're not expecting to win very often. As far as the Russell goes, that was a Bollinger Band breakout and a beacon breakout right there at 25.38.8, 25.38.6. And the stop would have been down here at the zero initially, and then you had a one candle reversal with follow through. You'd move the stop up to 25.30. That'd give you 1 point below the low. Then you had another one candle reversal with higher highs, higher lows. So far, you have 3 minutes until this next economic report is provided. And if you get a little bit higher, you're going to go past the halfway mark. I would move the stop to 25.36, 25.36 even. Because again, you're going into an economic report and it's the first 15 minutes. I don't generally trade these the first 15 minutes, Francisco. So it's a lot of time we're just resetting the expectations for the morning in the first 15 minutes in equities. Yeah, and so Brian, you're taking the micro on the euro trade and you're saying, you know, the 50%, the loss is next to nothing, but if it moves, you're going to make a little bit of money off of that. It's kind of the methodology. You're saying, okay, I'm risking very little, but in relationship to what it can be. So now that this is the reason why we didn't take the trade and didn't set it up. This first 15 minutes is just shaking things out. And that's generally what you see a lot of. You see a test a higher, test a low, and then reverse right back into the middle. It kind of defines your morning in equities, and you'll see it happen on all the equity indexes. It's going to try to test a high, pull back and test a low and say, this is kind of our open. In fact, Tony calls it the opening range, the first 15 minutes opening range that says, hey, you know, we're going to trade inside of here. And then if we break through the high or the low, then we might have a trend for the next little bit. And so right now, what do we just do? We spiked up, hit 28, collapsed down, and that's 25-point drop. It's a 25-point drop in there. Now, if this, since we're going to finish this 44, 45, this first 15 minutes in about 40 seconds, this could set us up for the short below 66.01. NASDAQ is below there, short 24.089, possibly. Gold sitting there, NASDAQ, oops, wrong way, Euro. There's that reversal and possibly the next beacon trade. But as you can see, long tail. So we're, again, adjusting for this news that's coming up. Everybody's looking for a reason. Right now, they want the reason to be a buyer. They want a reason to be long the euro. They want a reason to believe the equity market is going to go higher. They want a reason to believe that the dollar is going to continue to weaken while equities go higher. So they're going to take any information they can. Ceasefire, sure, good enough for me. That's what they're going to approach it as. Now this one returned back inside, so it's not a trade. Go over to the NASDAQ, return back inside, not a trade. Go over to the ES, did not break out. And Crude's back down here near the zero again. Russell closed back inside, so now the Russell is setting up for a trade. If you did not move your stop and you have your stop still at 30, great, stay in the trade. You might get another breakout here. Now we're past the first 15 minutes, and I don't even care what the report said because, one, it's a less important report, and the idea is it should be coming, the bigger ones at the top of the hour. In fact, here, let me show you. Where is it? There you go. If you look at the numbers, final manufacturing PMI came in as expected to 52.3, just a slight compression. And if we're going to get the same number here in ISM manufacturing, then ISM manufacturing might be a big nothing burger as well. But might create volatility. We're doing a coaching session today. And when you say 10, Delaware, what 10, what time? What time zone? So it's scheduled right now for 2 o'clock Eastern. But Don wants me in the main room at 3 o'clock. So I think we'll probably bump it up, scoot it up so that we have a little bit more than an hour. And then we'll end just 5 minutes early. So I think what we'll do is I will make sure that Arson can get the meeting going at probably 1:30. I just was wondering what time zone. That's all I'm asking, Delaware. What time zone you're referring to? So no, it is scheduled. It should be scheduled. The Q&A session, the coaching session, it should be at 2 p.m. Eastern, theoretically. But I'm supposed to be in the main room at 3. So what we will do, we'll go 1:30 if I can get them to launch the meeting, and I'll send out a tweet and alert. 1:30, so that we can have a full hour and 20 minutes just to trade together and answer questions this afternoon as well. So that should be 1:30 Eastern. That will bring you to 10:30 Pacific. So I will try to get it set up for that and move it earlier. Yeah, I'll tweet it here. If you leave this window open, you'll hear the ding. I'll send it out as an announcement. If you have your email or your phone in the system, you should get a text and or an email telling you the same. But it'll be right here in this page. Yep. All right. Christine wants me to have positive thoughts. Or she's giving me positive thoughts towards my trade. I'm not sure which one. Okay, NASDAQ, trying to break down. We have a minute. NASDAQ's trying to give us a bearish breakout on the beacon. Check the crude. ES also trying to do it. Over here, crude sitting here at the 0. Russell still oversold. Euro still hasn't broken out. So I'm playing the channel, but we don't have a trade that has been called because it's not through the beacon. Crude's at the 0. Might want to buy that crude too. ES is going to be easier to manage for the stop loss because if we do the NASDAQ, I would need to put my stop up here, 24,189 versus 24,007. There's 120, that's $240 risk even on a micro. So we're probably gonna have to go with the ES. The ES, if it's gonna give us a breakdown here in 20 seconds, this is going to be a short, a sell order on the ES. And I'm gonna type that in as quickly as I can. We're gonna do a 1 micro short. Whoops. Put in the wrong field. Come on, Blake. And we're going to go short at, so that's the signal. That's the short. We can go short at 66. Let's go 6601. We're going to get the pullback. 6601 short. I'm announcing it, but I'm telling you what we're looking for. 6601 short. We're going to put our target at 6551. Now, we're going to have to be careful and manage it right around PMI. That's the short signal. And the stop loss, 6651, 6551.50. And our stop loss, we're going to go up here into this area through here. We have a one candle reversal with follow through. You should be able to get away with 6621. Now, if you go 6601 and out at 6621, you're risking 20 points. 20 points times 5, that is $100 per micro. Okay, $100 per micro here. And it is giving me too many zeros. All right, let's see if this one works. Still time. Remember, top of the hour, we are going to get an economic report. Yes, and you can use the 6B4 short Delaware. There's plenty of liquidity in there. And if you're getting those trades, you can do the same kind of deal. I don't know why it hasn't been clearing these. Okay, there's the trade. Now 6601 is what I called on the setup. We're going to get a lot better price on it. So we're just going to sell into here. Oops, I did 2 on accident. We should be 1. And again, we're going to put our stop up here, and we're going to, it won't clear these. I don't know why it's not doing that. It's leaving all my alerts in there. We're going to put our stop at 21. The signal is 01, putting our stop at 21. You're risking $100 per micro. Now, I got a better fill on it. Many of you are getting better fills on it. We are paying attention because we have 7 minutes to see if this is going to break down and go in our favor. And we need to be aware of the news at the top of the hour. So breakout, pulled back. Didn't hit the 0. Breakout, pull back. Every one of them did it. Gold still sitting at the 0. Euro back inside. Didn't give us the beacon trade here. I took the channel, but we don't have the beacon trade yet. Russell, the breakout. So the Russell is giving us a breakout, but it's 5 minutes before the announcement. Have a short on the ES. Yeah, this used to be the sweet spot, Delaware, but this first hour has been really weird ever since, well, February. So we're not getting the same kind of structure, the same kind of setups. Now, I don't know if you want to trade ahead of that news event. It already showed that if we come in as expected, it's kind of a nothing burger with the manufacturing PMI. This is telling us we can be a buyer, put our stop at 30 and target up to 55.2555. Set it up. Hate going long and short in the same moment on equities, but we're going to set this one up too. Hopefully, if we get 2 to 1 on any of these, then we're going to get 1 to hit the target, 1 stopped out. And I mean, theoretically, we get rotation and win on both sides, but not betting on that. This would be a long at 25.39. Stop loss. If it becomes a 1 candle reversal, we'll be able to do a stop loss at 30. That means we're risking 9 points. And there it is. So we'll do the same thing. It's a Bollinger Band and a beacon at 25.38. Stop loss 25.30, target 25.55. So we're getting about a 2 to 1 on this one. And if we're long the one and short the other, theoretically, one's going to hit the target, one's going to hit the stop, if it plays out that way. If we don't just get a volatility and get both stopped. But this is the Russell long. Now, 9 times 5, really, we could do 2. Okay, stop loss, put it 30. Now again, 4 minutes, we have an economic report. Stop loss is going to be 30 here. If volatility spikes, could stop out both. It could cause us to hit the target on one and stop out on the other. So yes, we are taking some risk here. I only did one on the alert on both of them. On both of them, I also grabbed 2 on the contracts. But we're going to be reporting 1 on both because that's what we set up. ES is back down to its entry, roughly. And I don't know if I put my target on this one. Our target, 65.51. I did not. So if this is going to go up, then we should be able to get paid on the Russell and stopped out on the ES. Both require us to clear the day's range. Up for the Russell, down for the ES. So if this report is a catalyst, and if we don't get stopped out on both, then this should work out. But we need it to move at this point. All right. Yeah, so I'm supposed to help I'm going to help my son move from one apartment to the other. But it's raining all day. That's fun. And so I was telling, he said, well, when are you available? I said, well, I do the first hour, the second hour, the third hour, then I have a pause, and I do another hour, then I do another hour. And then I'm doing the afternoon video today instead of tomorrow. So pretty much there's a 30-minute window that I'm not doing something. So yes, you will be with me all day long. Okay, we are now 1 minute away from hopefully the move that gets us to our target on one side, on one of these. We have the short position here, and we just created a pirate flag, higher highs, lower lows. Got the bearish breakout, higher highs, higher lows. Over here on the Russell, we got the bullish breakout and higher highs, higher lows through here, and we've got our stop just down below the lows. So this is coiled up for this 1 minute move, and I still have my Euro trade here, and it's going to possibly give us a beacon, but this might create volatility. I'm not going to chase this one. This officially says we should go short, but let's let the volatility shake out for 20 seconds before we put the Euro trade on. Okay, before we set this up, let's see what kind of volatility spike, because in 7, 5, 4, 3, we're waiting for the Euro. 2, Should have taken it, darn it. Okay, the TheoTrade, that was a beacon, but as you can see, unless you jumped the gun and took the trade, this would not have helped you. So within half a second, it already dropped 7 pips and then came back up. So as we're in this, if you're in this off of the channel, you now have a channel because it closed above and broke out and then gave you a beacon here. Now it's pulling all the way back up. So funny, as we were waiting for that volatility, it gave a little bit of volatility here and not enough to move the Russell or the ES where either one is doing well or being threatened, really. ES is a little bit against what we're set up for, but now it's coming back down. So what do you do with that? That's 4 different economic reports in the last 15 minutes. And all in all, nothing. The market is bet big on this ceasefire, and we're not getting anything from the economic reports. It is not super impressive to me one way or the other. And there's your bounce off the zero, like we talked about. So I am going to get ready to go long crude. I think we're going back to 101.08 at least. We've created a full set of higher highs, higher lows through here, bounced off the zero. So not only do I think we can go up to our target, which is 101, I think we're probably gonna go up to fair price, which is 102.89. So we'll get ready for that long crude position as well. ES, again, we have lower risk here, melting higher. And so we might get stopped out on the ES. While the ES is melting higher, we should see the Russell help us out. And I've got higher highs, higher lows, higher closes for 3 candles, so we can move our stop up to 31 if we want. Let's move that on the Russell first. Move stop on RT or M2K, because we did an M2K, to 25.31. So good job, Rico. Some good money in there so far. We'll see if it keeps on going. But the beacon trade was right there. If you filled it at 16.5 or 16.49, what you're looking for, 3 candles, lower highs, lower lows, 1, 2, 3. That could be the stop. In fact, if you're in 6E in any fashion, it doesn't matter whether you got in off of the zero play off the channel or the beacon breakout here. I have 3 candles, lower highs, lower lows. I can move my stop to this high. We'll go 16.57. Let's go to 16.58. Okay, regardless of whether it doesn't matter where we got in, it should be, this is what, see, the ES is giving me grief here. This is what we're seeing in the tape. So whether you're locking in a small gain or giving up a small loss and protecting most of it, 16.58 will work. It's based off the chart and not based off where I got in. The market doesn't care where I got in. The market does care about what it's doing in the tape. As far as the ES and the Russell goes, NASDAQ still pushing higher up through here. ES still trying to climb through here. And very close to this being stopped out on the ES. The Russell isn't really gaining for us. But we have 1, 2, 3 candles high. That's why I went to 31. Yeah, we could go the pirate flag as well. Anytime you create a higher high, lower low, I'd say you can use that. And that's what I'm doing. I'm doing 1 point above that. So I'm just giving us room for the volatility until I see this candle close, which it officially isn't. But yeah, we reduce the risk and we see where this is going to go to. But the market is absolutely unsure. And the channel, what I love about the channel, that channel is 52. So if you see it closed above and then broke out, then this reversal theoretically is in play at 1606. Now 1606 actually takes us past that 50% line. So that should be able to get down there if it's going to continue. And we'll get a Bollinger Band, which might be able to give us an add and minimally give us another way to adjust risk and get a secondary target. So we'll see where that one sets up, if it does. David points out the EM for the Russell is 2546. So kind of playing off that EM and not moving any higher. Those upper shadows, 43, 43, 43.6. Yeah, and like I've said before, EM is not a hard barrier for me. It's a magnet. I expect price to kind of chop around those expected moves. Now, this reversing through here after we moved up the stop, this is actually not a bad thing if you took both the ES and the Russell, because if we're tightening up our stop on the one and not getting stopped out on the other, yeah, this means we're going to be reducing the risk on this. It's failed to move higher, which should mean this is going to roll back down, keep us in the trade. Now I've got lower highs, lower lows. That high is 66.20. If I can get this through the low here, then I'd move my stop to 66.21. But we kind of don't have anything right now. No adjustments, no changes. Gold's still sitting at the 100% level. Euro moving lower, 3 candles together. If this tags a new low, we should be able to bring the stop down here. If you go more than halfway through the channel, you can move it along that line too. So when it hits that halfway channel, we can move that to 1655.8. But I need another low. Give me the low. Right now it's equal, 43.43. Russell tried and bounced back up. ES tried and bounced back up. So the ES is definitely in danger. Very close. But all in all, like I said, this doesn't look like an economic report response, does it? Tiny little candles compared to this, which was 740 before the less important one. This one is the more important economic report and nothing. Crude's still sitting there at the 0. I think there's some comments about that. And I just got stopped out of the ES, I'm assuming, is what that sound was. Yep, new high. So out of the ES. Now the ES, it depends on where you got filled, because it was set up based off the numbers. I filled on the ES at 6608. So if you got stopped out at 66.0, entered in at 66.01 and out at 66.21, you are down the 20 points, which is $100. In the meantime, your Russell trade should be helping out some, but we're just kind of sitting here. So ES dropped, reversed all of it, and the Russell won't even move. So this is a difficult spot to be in. Now, did anyone get 66.01 on the fill on the ES? What kind of fills did you get? I filled at 66.08. What's the worst fill we got above 66.01 on the ES? And now the Russell's drifting lower. This is just stuck. Everything is stuck. Gold stuck. Maybe we are. Maybe we're waiting for attacks from Iran. I don't know. This did not make a new low. If it makes a new low, we'll be able to move it down to 1653. In fact, I'd probably consider going 1654. If you took the beacon or up here, 1654 would work. It's not a called trade as far as going to be in the reports, but if you took it on the beacon or took it on the channel break or took it off the channel, you can move your stop to 1654. And the Russell doing nothing. Crude doing nothing. Yes, just high enough. Went to 21.5. Okay, we got a bullish divergence on the 0. Let's do a crude trade. We're at the 0. We've been at the 0, 0, 0, 0. It really wants to defend. It was the resistance here, the support here, resistance here, and support here. And when we broke out, we pulled back, stopped out, broke out, hit the target. So if we're down at 98.92 and we had the bullish divergence, the next target for that bullish divergence is all the way up to 176. So if we can pick this up off this, any type of conflict is going to be pushing oil prices higher. So I'm going to take a trade that we're going to call. We're going to try to buy in at 99. 99 even. I've got higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. I'm going to use the stop at 98.50. So we're going to risk 50 cents. Now, what is that? That's $50. Because what we're getting is $100 per point. Let's see if we can buy at the 98.90 then. Okay, so 42 cents. And we're going to go for that full 101.08. 101.08. So we're looking to make about $216. We're going to risk about, or per contract, and we're going to risk about 42. Oh, we're breaking down. And again, the zeros are just the zeros. So now let's make sure we settle in at the 0. If we do, we're going to buy at 98.92. So watch for the close. If it closes at the 0, we can take the trade. We got 3 candles, higher highs, higher lows. We'll put our stop down there at 98.50. If it closes up there. So I'm going to give you this trade, but we were watching for the close. Make sure it closes at or above the 0. It is, actually, we'll call it a 0. It's a combination, 0. Trade. 0 and divergence is really what it is. Now, again, this is tons of speculation on my part with the 0 and the idea that I think you priced in all the safety here, right? 6608, Felix, 6601. Okay, Larry, looks like you, Mark, we'll leave it at 6601, even though we had a little bit better on everybody's. We'll just count it as a $100 loss. Okay. Crude's not going to close above that for this 15 minutes. So hang on to that one. I'm not sending it out yet. We're setting it up. It's not there. ES, could you short it again? You know what? We just made higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, 3 candles in a row, and you just made a lower high, but not a lower low. It's overbought. I don't mind the idea of shorting in at 21. I mean, the fact is you have the buyers turn into sellers in this block. I had some people asking about the clouds and the yellow and not being able to see the blue in the background. All you have to do after you learn what we're doing and after you understand how we're structuring these, if you don't want that yellow in there, you can turn that off. You right click on it, edit. And from edit, you scroll down, and where it says show clouds, there's my show clouds. Yes, say no. If you hit that, it's the same levels, same price numbers, everything else like that. It just doesn't have the yellow background. So we're inside of this area through here. We have higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, lower highs, higher lows, consolidation, higher highs, higher lows. So I don't have that set up for my short yet. I'd rather get it a little bit higher up to 66.34, but I do. I think there's a better shot that this goes down. I think there's a better shot that crude goes up. And even though we have that Russell, we just pulled back and setting up a new Russell beacon right here. So we're still in the Russell beacon. We just created 3 candles in a row, lower highs, lower lows, and now we're trying to break out again. It is an odd tape. Russell's not moving at all. The market is not moving, even though we just had big economic reports. Crude did close below there, so I'm not taking that trade short, but I'm also not going long because it's not a signal yet either way. ES drifting higher, and yet Russell can't drift higher. So we're in a weird spot. Gold, fine. Euro all the way back up. Didn't I move my stop? Five, 4. Officially, that was lower highs, lower lows. 3 candles. Yeah, we got it 5, 4. Now all the way back up, right to the edge of that beacon. That was a beacon trade at 1650. Stop should be at 1654. And like I said, I took the channel here. Huge expansion. We just went from 62 all the way down to 42. So 20 points, 20 pips, all the way back up. You could short here and have 4 pips risk for the potential of getting 38. We are running this channel slope constantly. Look at the channel. I'm going to draw another channel on top of it just so you can see. This is the slope we're running. Look at that. Just a smaller range, but it's the absolute slope. That slope from the beacon, that slope from the beam is the most accurate one we're dealing with right here. And so we're just making higher highs, higher lows right along that line. Now that pattern, still the right slope. You can set that one up and let that one break out again. And that's going to give you a 60, almost 18 point pip drop if it sets up and breaks through the lows. We're right here, closing in on that one again. This is a flat market. So tough to trade. This is not a buy signal because I don't buy beacons or Bollinger Bands where I have to break through the 0. So that's not a buy signal. We're just sitting here really flat for the last 3 hours. Widening pattern, but net flat. Higher highs, lower lows, but net flat for the last 3 hours. This is, I think like everybody, I think like what we're saying is the market doesn't believe in anything that is being told, but it still has to bet on what they're being told. So they're betting on what they're being told and they're getting them now, they're waiting. And Russell closed back inside. So if it closes back out, we'll take another trade. But right now, still in the trade and don't have any movement at all. Lower highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, lower close. I mean, we're waiting. Market is waiting. And what's the saying? You don't short a boring market. I think you get ready to short a boring market because there's a much higher likelihood that conflict accelerates, not decelerates. We've priced in a ton of movement here. Crude is a Bollinger Band breakout short. Can't do it. I just can't buy into that idea that we're going to go short. If you're going to take the trade short, you take this trade short with the Bollinger Band right there. You add to it on the beacon, but you get out at 96.76. Yeah, let's take a look at the XSP. Since I've got 10 minutes here, let's see if we can set this up. What is the strategy? Number one, if you're in an overbought area, great. If you're getting a Bollinger Band breakout, great. If you got something that you see at least 20 points. Did Crude just move? Yeah. So Crude pushing right back to the zero. Like I said, that's the setup that I had. I wanted to see it close past that zero and retest it. Now we know where the low is. So we would need to give ourselves that low, the low of 98.46. Should probably go 98.40. Bullish divergence, bullish divergence, bullish divergence. Right to the target. 99.01. Now I'm willing to take this trade. And then we'll get back to that XSP trade. So 98.92 long, Crude. Stop loss, I've got to give ourselves a little bit more. So we're going to go to 98.45. It's a zero play. We're going to be risking $47. So I can do 2 long off of this. And if we're right, we're going to make 430 if it can close above the zero. Now it's fighting us right now. We've got another 3 minutes. I am going to set it up. I'm going to take this one. Again, this is a low probability trade. We've got 2 divergences back to back. We're at the zero. We now put in a low so we can at least deal with the risk management based off that low. And if this is too much volatility, there's the Russell stopping me out, I'm assuming, or the Euro stopping me out. Which one is it? Oh, Euro stopped me out with profit. Okay, back inside. Euro stopped me out with profit. Euro's climbing. Russell's back climbing. Russell's pushing higher. Crude staying below the zero. ES trying to push up higher. This is crazy stuff. Still in the Russell. Russell closes up. We have a 1 counter reversal and remove the stop to 25.33. All right. Now, Jay, we didn't set up the ES long or short. We're going to take a look, and we're waiting for it to tell us when we think we can get to that 20-point move, right? So I've got a Russell that's trying to decide if it's going to give us another risk management point and another breakout. Broke out, pulled back, broke out, pulled back, broke out. Yep. So unless we drop in the next 2 minutes, we're going to move our stop to 33. I'm going to type that in, move M2K stop to 25.33. I think that's the low. Now we'll go 25.33. All right. So let me start with that, and then we'll go back to the ES and determine if there's a trade there or not. So stops going up to 33. And again, we called it at 1. I have 2. That means we're risking $30 on this to see if this is going to get back up to that target. And we'll go from there. All right, let's take a look at ES. This is still in the overbought. We're between the 180. It's still in the overbought. It's still into supply. If we get a trade signal, we're just looking to see, is it going to give us a bullish or bearish move of at least 20 points? Well, we're still below the 100. I would have to lean to the downside. And if I'm going to lean to the downside, do I think I'm going to get 20 points? 20 points or more. If I think it's going to drop back down 20 points from 16, 15, 11, it's now moving on us, 16 down to 06, which this is 96. So I've got, there's your 20 points right there. If it goes to 06, that's 30. So we've got flat consolidation. I would probably wait for the breakout, but if you want to fade here, as in it's priced in everything that it can do, what's the cost of the trade? Where did my tasty... I had it open this morning. Really super flat here. Widening pirate flag on gold. Euro right up to that slope again. Russell still didn't give us a Bollinger Band breakout. So we just moved up the stop, maybe a little aggressively. Thought it was going to give us a one candle reversal and a Bollinger Band break, but it did not. Crude right back to the zero. I want it to close up here. Let's do the crude trade, and then we'll come back to the XSP. I don't think we're in a race to do XSP. And again, this is high reward, low risk, divergent trade off of the zero. It is not a high probability trade. It's actually a counter trade at this point. So if you don't want to take this trade, totally get it. And this is 2. At 92, 98, 92. Right at the zero. See if it comes back and tags it. And I'm going to put my stop down there at 98.45. And then if it fills, I'm going to put my target all the way up at 101.80. And the market is just stuck. You got 98.91. How do you get 98.91? Are you on the same contracts? You're on May? It hasn't filled for me. Or did you jump the... Okay. You just got in early, which is fine. Set up the numbers, set up the number. I haven't got to fill it at 98.92 as a limit order. You guys were just on top of it. I had to send it out and you guys got it. All right. So 98.92, 101.08, right on the dot. Go back to this and see if I get that fill. We're very close, 2 cents away. Come back and give me the trade. We'll deal with that here momentarily. There we go. So I'm long at 98.92. ES, back to this one. If we think we're going to go lower, if oil's going to bounce, there's a good shot that's going to pull back. If we think it's going to pull back 20 or 30 points, and we're setting up the XSP trade short, or bearish, I shouldn't say short, bearish. I'm going to just start with the idea of how do I get a 40-cent put? Oops. $0.40 put, 45-cent put, and then let it come back to me. Now there is no divergence. There's nothing in here. It's just simply fading against all of this from all night. I don't know if we're going to get any more positive news out of this or not. But apparently there's no attacks that have been going on, so the market isn't afraid of that, and we're just sitting here coiled up. If it does drop, the volatility will increase. And so if it does drop and the volatility increases, then what we're looking for is a chance to buy the long put and then sell as soon as it gives us 50%, 100% return on risk. So let's take a look. And we're still drifting higher. So it's good for a Russell trade, but not, this is not still set up. It's still just waiting for the trade. I don't have a trade signal yet. So if you're going to take the long put, again, you need it to drop 20, 30 points in the next hour. And I think it's still a good shot. I just don't have the numbers to, or the signal to take that trade. All right. So let's take a look. I took a trade yesterday on this. That I still have open. So the 40-cent option would be, or 45-cent option would be the 52 for 40 cents, or the 653 would be 50 cents. So if we set up the 653 long put, you would need it to drop from where it's at. And again, just sitting here, it's kind of melting higher, which again, it's good for a Russell. What was that? Is that my Crude? Did Crude just drop? It did. Boo. Wow, look at that. Yeah, it didn't close above. So I jumped the gun on it. Wow, Crude just dropped 76 cents. That seems news driven. Yeah, we're out. Doesn't matter much right now, Rick. It was 101.08. 101.008. But we just dropped in, that looks news driven. 75 cents, but I don't know what kind of news we're getting. And ES is still climbing. So I think I will wait until we hit 66.34 and then reevaluate what that looks like as far as the 0 DTE XSP long put. Right now, you could buy the 653 for 50 cents. If you bought the 653 for 50 cents and you get it to drop $20 in the next hour, you should be able to sell the 652 for, you should be able to sell the 652 there for, just trying to keep it on the chart so I can see. So if this one dropped from 62, just down to 66.01, the 653 should go from 50 cents down to maybe 90 cents. And the 652 should be able to be sold for 65 cents. And you'll be guaranteed $15 on that. And all it has to do is come down and tag that 66.01. I think that's a decent trade. So if you can buy the 653 for 50 cents. Oh, I got to go. The futures. Oh, shoot. Okay, I got to go. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. I'll see you later on in this room. Where's my chat? There it is.